Hello, my name is Brandy Hofer, your host and founder of Color Me Happy, a community podcast and book, all of which I started in my in-home studio whilst in the throes of motherhood. I am an artist, author, educator, and mother to 3 beautiful boys. We live and create together in our in-home studio that is tucked away in the quiet Canadian prairies. Our podcast and community was built to empower and inspire. We chat about everything from motherhood, the art world, business, and health in the most honest and authentic way. It's totally unedited and unfiltered. If you love what we do here, become a part of our free community, Color Me Happy. We have grown the community to support our members with features and interviews. Our link is in the notes. Thank you for being here. I sure do appreciate your time. Hello, welcome to Color Me Happy podcast. My name is Brandy Hofer. Thank you so much for being here. If you are not on video today, you might want to shift over to YouTube or Spotify. This is on video. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts, you can check the podcast out there because this is a visually stimulating episode where I take you through doing a mural from start to finish, and I won't even get into it because it's so in depth already and my voice hurts. I'm really excited to launch this episode because I'm heading myself to my very first mural festival in Saskatoon this weekend. You can catch me by the Midtown Mall in their parking lot where there's a whole bunch of art events going on. So I'm super stoked for that. I'll be launching this podcast. Obviously, you're listening Friday morning, so everyone can tune in. I'm also sporting my, if you're on the camera, video already, my Choose Love and Join Hands in Truth and Reconciliation mural design on a t-shirt, which is really cool. And they are available at Home Hardware in Lloydminster. The proceeds go to the Choose Love and Join Hands in Truth and Reconciliation mural project, which you can come place your hand on the wall on September 19th from 11:30 until 1:30 that day and choose love with us. So I'm very proud of this project. Obviously, it's taken up so much time and energy and love, and it's just a total passion project. And we washed it up today. It looks great, and it's ready to shine onto the world and our community. But most of all, I really want to empower artists and other creatives to do this in their own communities. I think not only do you grow as an artist and a creative, but you can impact the world in the most glorious, colorful, fun way. And I want you to share your voice and other people's voices through your creative talents. So check this out. Thanks for being here. Make sure you check the links for if you're interested in mural class. There's the links below, or if you just want to find out more, you can get the free mural bundle, which we just updated. And I just updated the mural class today too, with for my own sake. I put a mural checklist in there. We had in the package, we have the checklist and the mural list for interior and exterior murals, but I wanted it to just be alone, like the mural checklist, because I'm like heading out on the road, so I want to go do. I've packed this, extension cord, ladder, water, snacks, sunscreen, coveralls, like everything I need for murals. And I don't want to be stuck in Saskatoon, wasting time and money finding materials and supplies, or a water bottle that I forgot to pack, something like silly like that. So we've got you covered, and thanks for being here, and we'll chat with you soon. Do you ever really wonder, like, how do they get murals so big, or how did they paint a giant portrait, or how do they do that in 10 to 14 days? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to take you through the whole process, start to finish. Hey, my name's Brandy Hofer. Thank you so much for being here. I sure do appreciate it. I'm an artist, muralist, author, educator, and mother to 3 very busy boys. I'm most well known for being a collected Canadian artist, exhibiting internationally and across North America. I've just announced my largest project to date, 3,082 square feet of beautiful mural space in the heart of my community and our beautiful downtown. As I always say, you can turn any space into a thriving public destination and this one was so transformative. In this jam-packed video, we're going to take you through everything from growing your business, the theme of your mural, working in your community, mural mindset, where the heck do you start, your mural style, types of murals, building your portfolio, contracts and down payments, client relations, pricing, materials, projectors and grids, timeline, and marketing. Are you feeling like you just need to diversify your income, do something else? You're not being supported by your creative career and you need that physical change. I love murals because you're really moving your body. They're an extreme challenge and you're engaging with the community, which can be so totally impactful for your business. Actually, our friend Ashley Cassins recently quit her full-time job from teaching this year, and she started introducing murals into her practice, and you can catch us on our Color Me Happy podcast. Such a great episode. She actually has added already in the years not even over $20,000 US more to her salary annually. The first year we incorporated murals, we actually increased our net profits by 394%, which is totally nuts. So we just knew that we had to expand and explore in this area in particular. Not only that, but that we were totally just addicted to the high of working with community and transforming places into thriving public destination. Now, for sure, the biggest question out there and the feeling of overwhelm, I get it, can totally stop you in your tracks before you even begin, is really, where do I start? How do I start when a mural seems totally out of my reach, really hard, and I just, I can totally understand that, the feeling of defeat, and I kind of jumped into my first project without thinking about it too hard. Which works okay, but that means that I had to learn a lot along the way. And that's what this is all about, is sharing my mistakes and what I've learned with you so you don't make them. So it's going to save you a lot of time and money. But I'm just kind of jump in before you look kind of personality. So this is for the people who want to plan, and good for you for doing it. I'm so proud of you. So the biggest thing is really being comfortable in your artistic style, of course, and exploring and writing out and sketching out, like, what does that look like for you? What are you saving on your phone? What are you gravitating towards? What are you sharing as a Pinterest folder? Anything that really kind of sets your heart on fire and gives you that gut feeling that you're really scared, but you totally want to do this kind of feeling. So finding your style. And then of course it comes along with building your portfolio, and you can do that by either trading businesses or just putting yourself out there right away. If you're a really strong digital creator, and you can just use a projector and put up your designs right away and you're comfortable with that and you've researched materials, go for it. However, if you are wanting to try it out first to see if you even like it in the first place before investing in projector or spending money on materials, you can just do it in a friend's house, do it in your own house, get some panels, paint on scrap panels. I started just trading businesses for business cards. I offered it in my sister's yoga studio. I kind of just did it everywhere. And actually, before I did that, before I built my portfolio, like I said, I dive in first. I actually did a 40-foot mural. It just kind of worked out, which was pretty crazy. You're watching it here. It was 40 feet and I totally didn't know what I was doing, but the business was amazing and the project was fun. It just took far too long and wasn't as much as you should charge and stuff like that. So I'm going to take you through how to do that start to finish without hitting those same kind of bumps along the road. Let's talk about the different types of murals. First of all, there's a digital and wallpaper murals that you can make and print and sell as a wallpaper, which is a fun thing if you have a shop. There are like DIY designer murals, so working with interior paints and transforming like little corners or bathrooms or spaces on an interior scale, and kind of thinking about design and that sort of thing. And then there's corporate murals, so working with businesses, and I really love to spin it as an ad budget, which we talk a lot about in our mural course, is tapping into the idea with clients that they can dip into their huge ad budget that they have annually, because people stand in front of the mural, they take their business, it's like a focal point where people stop. Our first mural we did has 10,000 Google hits or visits a year, which is insane. Then there's mural festivals, which you can get invited to or apply for, and working with nonprofit organizations, which there's a lot of grants and funding available for that through the government. And then working with the community, interactive community murals, which you can really tie in again to nonprofit or corporate, depending on the plan and what you decide would be the best route with clients. It's really important to keep in mind as a creative and as a business owner yourself about client relations. It's so important because your return customer is your best customer. It's important to always keep your cool, be very professional, because people talk and you want them to be able to give you a testimonial and have a really nice working relationship either. And speaking of that, some partnerships actually don't work out between both parties. So you are coming to the table with skills and a business, and you're allowed to say no as well. We really cover that in our mural class. We have polite ways of saying no in order to keep a positive demeanor and relationship with clients. So always remember that Google reviews are important, testimonials are important, and it's always nice to be kinder in the end. This is of the utmost importance. You always need to know your worth, and you need to have it planned out, mapped out, written down beforehand, before meeting with clients, before anything else, because it's a really big part of visualizing your ideal client and visualizing these projects moving forward in the future. So always do the math. You can spin it as an ad budget, figure out your material costs and equipment, your timeline for your price, and then I always go by charging by the square footage for projects. So figure out what your fee is. Always keep in mind that your artist fee is not including your design time, meeting times, and depending on the materials you need, sometimes you can throw that in, but definitely equipment costs are really high. So keep that in mind when you're finding your price point. If you're curious about this and want to know more, check out our free mural bundle. The link is in the notes below. So here it is, our mural that you're seeing on this giant 3,082 square foot mural, which was a huge 2-year in-process undertaking because we actually worked with a nonprofit organization and helped raise the funds for this Choose Love and Join Hands in Truth and Reconciliation mural project. So it's a little bit different than your average mural dealing with like a corporate client. So this one was really important that we chose a design that fit the theme well. And that had to do with having really solid photography. And when you think about projects and any artwork in general needs a good photograph to be really strong. So we knew that this mural was going to be huge and it needed the most inspirational, feel it in your gut, wonderful photography. And we worked with Yellowfinch Images on this one, Randy Noble, on her photography from the very first powwow in Lloydminster. You always want something that pulls on your heartstrings, something that you really care about, something that's going to be impactful for not only you as an artist, but your community or your clients. For this Truth and Reconciliation theme, it was really important that we had those beautiful connections and relationships. For this particular project, we ran an Indigenous mentorship program for 2 young students to learn alongside myself for the mural process and what truth and reconciliation means to them and their community, and they got an honorarium for their participation. And it was honestly one of the most beautiful things that I have ever done as a creative. And I actually ended up, after I saw how strong they were as creatives and artists, left a section of the wall for them to digitally design and then figure out from start to finish. So that's where every mural really starts. When you're working with clients, you either sketch it out or digitally design it, and it needs approval by your client before you move forward to do anything.
So this is Princess, and this is her in the mural, which is very cool. Go, Kim's gonna get you on. Say cheese one more time. Beautiful girl.
And have them sign that contract on that design. And of course, again, the design fee is not included in your fee, so people don't just take advantage and think, oh, I might want a mural. No, they really want a mural. They really love your art. They love what you do. And you have a solid 50% relationship and agreement. So always have your contract ready, your price points ready, and your design fee in there, and always have approval before you move forward with anything you do. Here we are at the Saskatchewan Health Authority Plaza at this massive 132-foot wall that we are going to paint in 2 weeks' time. Mural marketing is such a huge one. You want to make sure you either trade a videographer or photographer in advance to capture what you're doing, or pay them if it's within your fee. And you want to capture in a time lapse, start to finish, lots of video, lots of nice, gorgeous photos, because that's part of building your portfolio. That's representing what you do and what you can accomplish and how it's impacting their space or business. We talked about doing the math, we talked about finding your price point, and it's really important that you include on top of your artist fee, the equipment fees, materials, and design costs separately. On top of that, actually, we like to include a media package if the clients want aerial footage or really professional looking stuff. It's like photographers, if you're not trading or if you don't have a lot of creative friends, then that is a huge fee, and it can be like $4,000 or $5,000 for a few minutes video, right? So you really have to think about that before you offer it, unless you have a really great phone and you have lots of experience already doing it. But remember that you're already doing a project, you're already having to paint their wall. So to capture it all can be also, just on top of that, an extra task, especially if you're kind of on a tight timeline. Okay, so the biggest question ever and the hardest part to grasp is, how do I get my design and blow it up really big? My favorite number one thing, if you can invest in it right away, is a good projector. We have an Artograph. We bought it in 2018 on our very first mural, just because we believed that it would be what we were going to do in the future. So that's totally up to you, and we just use the money from that very first mural to invest in that product. There's tons more projector brands, etc. Detour 303 reviews a lot of different projectors, so find out which projector works for you. So that's number one, projector. If it's too high, you can't plug in, you can't get there during night hours, which is actually a very big challenge. Logistically, can't use it. You can always go back to a traditional grid method that you learned in grade 4, how you grid up any image, and you can YouTube that. It's very easy. We have it in our mural course as well. Just scaling, 1 inch to 1 foot or whatever, if you like math. You can make it work. There's also the doodle grid method, which you can find there's tons of cool YouTube tutorials on the doodle grid method. So in this project in particular, as you can see, we digitally designed this. and we mocked it up with the projector because I feel like as an artist, it's the biggest time saver in the whole wide world. So we made it work. We went at night, and we scaled out our floral designs and our portraits, and we just whipped out that design as fast as possible. So then once you get that, it's just color blocking really. When it comes to portraiture, I wouldn't go, I've never painted a face before, I'm just going to try it out on this mural. You have to be confident that you can execute a mural sized portrait with acrylic paint. I would say practice on panels, practice sketching first. The same with anything, don't run before you can walk, or you're just going to waste time and materials. And for a lot of these projects, you're on a tight timeline and material costs are really high. So you really want to plan this out to the best of your ability, gain some experience, go with other artists who are already doing murals, ask questions, practice, all that stuff. But really, once you have it planned out, your days on site are just like paint blocking. And if you have volunteers or other artists along in the project, you're just color blocking, giving people jobs. This color goes here, this design goes here. It's already mapped out. It's really just a tracing game and color blocking from there on in. Again, I have a lot of portrait experience, so each portrait only took me a day each, but that was from, years of doing 130 portraits in 1 year. So I felt confident, kind of. Scared still. I'm not a super pro, but I felt really confident and scared at the same time, drawing right in the middle of the street, that portrait. And actually the wind had blown our projector off of the second face of the little girl's face, the dancer's face. So I actually had to freehand most of her face. But again, those years of experience in the studio paid off. I figured out her face proportions that were totally blown off by the projector because it was windy and rainy. So again, on that note, always be prepared for all kinds of weather. And we actually have a mural materials list in our course. And I'm using it today. I'm going to a Mural Fest tomorrow morning, and I am all afternoon checking off this list. Even though I've done tons of murals, I double check my list because gosh, you do not want to be left on site without a ladder or an extension pole or rags or water or something, because then you have to run out and get it, and that wastes like an hour or two of your time where you need to be painting, because just murals are hardcore, I'm telling you. For this project, we actually had a paint sponsor, which was totally amazing because it was a huge project, but Home Hardware Lloydminster wanted to support this Truth and Reconciliation project. For exterior murals, let's talk about materials. In particular, you always want to prime your wall. You need at least 2 layers of primer, and you always need to wash your wall. That's actually the most important thing. This wall actually had about 30 years of grime on it, and it was stucco. So we actually got on another supporter, BioClean Disaster Services, and they showed up with their pressure washer, and it actually took them 2 days to wash this wall. So a lot of dust in that area. So washing your surface before you start, being aware of your materials. So the primer really needs to stick to the wall, and then so you let it dry, of course, 24 to 48 hours. Actually, it can take almost 10 days depending on if it's brick or cinder and stuff like that. So let that fully dry. Make sure you don't paint right after rain. All things considered, and they can throw off your timeline a bit. So you want that primer. You want to let the layers dry in between, and you come at it with. We actually invested in a spray gun for this project, which was a good investment. I couldn't imagine rolling on that heavy primer on 3,000 square feet. It would have been insane and lots of work. So we got a sprayer, we used the lifts, and we got 2 coats of primer on, and then we came on with a really high quality exterior paint, and that's what we used for all the portraits and all the design. It was a gorgeous product, carried by, it was Beauty Tone, their best exterior paint, which can dry past actually 10 degrees, which was really nice because we live in Canada and it gets cold at night. We coated it with the Sherwin-Williams anti-graffiti coat. I wouldn't recommend this product in particular. It was really sticky and kind of rubber-like, and you had to wear all sorts of safety gear and ventilators, etc. Especially, you have to know your products, do the research. With primer, you need to wear a bodysuit and goggles because it gets in your hair and on your skin. So always look out for your safety precautions when it comes to your materials and, of course, your equipment. You need certification for using a scissor lift. You need 2 certifications in Canada. You need fall protection, and you need the aerial oh gosh, it's in my mural course. If you really are serious about this, take the mural class because it's really all in there. So know your materials. So the alternative for the weatherproofing and anti-graffiti coat is a Vandal Guard or World Best. They both make the Sherwin-Williams is a 1 coat. That's why we went with it, because it's such a large surface. But in the future, we will be using the Vandal Guard, and you need to coat that with 2 coats as well. And all that information is available in our mural class. And now I really want you to think about, because this is such a huge undertaking and it can really, like I said, stop you in your tracks before you even begin. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I want you to feel competent and empowered. And I just want you to visualize you stepping up to that wall in any space that you feel comfortable in, interior, exterior, high as the sky. There's grain barrels. I've seen people painting the hugest things. The sky is literally the limit, and I want you to really think about who you have to become. How do you envision yourself and your creative gifts? And for this project in particular, I kind of meditate and I run in the morning and I bike, and I always thought of the energy bouncing off this building and how it could impact my community and make changes and be an important pillar in the world that would inspire others to be great. And that's the power of a mural. And I want you to step into that person, and I want you to step into that space for your business to really, really change the world. And I know you can do it. Feel free to ask me any questions anytime. I'm at Brandy Hofer Studios on Instagram. That's where I really sit and answer questions. You can sign up for our newsletter or at brandyhofer.ca. And again, you can get our free mural bundle in our notes, or you can check out our mural class where we have everything tightly tied and a very nice bow for you so you feel confident taking these projects on. Thank you so much for being here. I sure do appreciate your time. Check out these testimonials that we have from students of our mural class. Here is one testimonial from Deanna Miller. The PDF is worth the price of this course alone. Don't miss out on this opportunity to invest in your art practice. Here's another one from Michelle T. Let me tell you about this awesome online mural course I took recently from Brandy Hofer. It seriously changed the game for me when it came to painting my first mural. Before this course, I would have been totally freaked out about the project. I mean, I had no clue about paint products or the best techniques to use. It was all a big unknown. And I would have been paralyzed with fear and not been able to move ahead on the project. But this course saved my artistic butt from many potential screw-ups and opened up new opportunities in murals. The mural course taught me about different types of paint and time-saving techniques. It was like taking away all the guesswork and made it super easy for me to dive into the project. No more second-guessing myself. And guess what? The mural turned out freaking amazing. The client is beyond happy with it, and it created a buzz in the community. It got media attention, and that was the best feeling ever. This course was worth every penny and then some, seriously. If you're even thinking about getting into painting on a larger scale or on different types of surfaces, you have to check out this course. It's like a crash course in mural painting. Brandy covers everything you need to know and condenses years of on-the-job learning into just a few days. And I'm all about the time efficiency in this busy life. It's insane how much I learned and how prepared I felt to take on this professional mural project. It also helps to tell prospective mural clients that I've taken a specialized course in murals, so they're reassured with a level of legitimacy and justifies my professional pricing. So if you want to up your painting game and take on some epic mural projects, this course is the way to go. Trust me, it's a total game changer. Get ready to unleash your inner artist and create some wow factor murals. Michelle. Alrighty, thank you so much for tuning in. I sure do appreciate your time. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you to our sponsors and supporters and partners, BioClean, Disaster Services, who came out and made our mural shiny after it got dust stormed after we coated it with the anti-graffiti. So they really saved our necks there. That was a big source of stress for me, so I appreciate that. It just goes to show that the community really steps behind these mural projects because they can be very, very impactful. Nouveau Laser Aesthetic Center, Oasis Hot Yoga and Spin Studio, which whom? Good transition, Brandy. With whom we are partnering with for our upcoming, and tickets are almost available, an upcoming workshop on trusting your intuition. So you get to make these really cool circle abstract panels, plus yoga and food, which, I mean, can't go wrong with that. So grab your friends, get tickets to that. It's on October 22nd, 20th or 22nd. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday from like noon till 2:30. So perfect time to, if you're like me, escape your home for a second. Just a truth bomb there. And I hope to see you in Saskatoon this weekend. Yeah, and our other partner, Red Bicycle Communications, Jill just dropped an awesome episode about social media marketing, so check that out. That was the last episode last weekend, and we'll chat with you soon. Feel free to reach out anytime at Brandy Hofer Studios or check out our free Color Me Happy community.
If you're looking for some time for yourself to relax, release, and unwind, Oasis has the perfect space for you. They offer yoga and spin classes of all levels. Whether you are a beginner or advanced student, Oasis thrives on accommodating all aspects of the practice. Let their serene environment and gracious staff help you in your journey of peace, healing, and strength. Sign up online at www.oasishotyogastudio.com or by downloading the Oasis Hot Yoga Studio app. Feel like yourself. You deserve it.